Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today's video, red beans and rice. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here and you're interested in learning how to cook authentic Cajun and Creole cuisine, comfort food, and just about anything for that matter, then you come to the right place. Click that subscription button and the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Now today's video is red beans and rice. Now I've done this exact recipe on this channel before, but if you know anything about YouTube, when people start off on this platform, their first few videos are pretty horrible, and I'm no exception to that. I wanted to give you an updated version of this recipe. It's one of my all-time favorite dishes. It's very easy to make, it's very hearty, and very flavorful. Look, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get to the kitchen, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, let's take a look at the ingredients that are going into this recipe. And what you won't see here is the garlic, but I'm putting in about 4 nice big cloves of minced garlic. Now our kidney beans here are canned beans. You can use dried beans and soak them overnight and all of that, but the canned beans work just as well, and it makes this go by a lot quicker. All right, then we're gonna put in the smoked ham hock. We got some chicken stock as our liquid. We got the holy trinity of Cajun cooking, those celery, bell pepper, and onion, some smoked sausage. Get andouille if you can. If not, just use whatever smoked sausage you prefer. Some bay leaf, some thyme. We got a little salt. We're gonna put in some fresh chopped parsley in here. And we're gonna season this up with some West Coast Cajun's Creole seasoning. Now, if you're interested in getting your hands on some of this, there will be a link in the description box below. All right, so we want to go ahead and get all of our ingredients ready to go. Now, what this is called is our mise en place. And if you don't know what that is a French culinary term for everything in its place. We want to get everything ready to go before we even turn the fire on and start cooking, because this makes cooking a lot more enjoyable and easier. All right, let me show you what I did to prep these beans. Now I used about 4 14-ounce cans of kidney beans, and they have some liquid in there, so I want to rinse it really well. And if you're using dried beans, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna rinse them really well. The only difference is with the dried beans, once you rinse them, you're gonna put them in a pot or a bowl, you're gonna cover them with water, and you're gonna let them soak overnight. When you use canned beans, you eliminate that process. All right, we're gonna go ahead and heat up our Dutch oven on the medium heat. We're going to add a little bit of oil, and then we're going to start softening up our vegetables. And we're going to saute them for about 10 minutes or so. All right, now we're going to go ahead and put our beans in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to saute them for about 3 to 5 minutes or so. We just want the skins to start breaking up a little bit, because it's the beans that are going to thicken this up and make this the red beans and rice we all know and love. Okay, now we're going to add our garlic. And once we get the garlic in there, just mix it really well, make sure everything's well incorporated, and we're gonna let it saute for about another 3 minutes. All right, after a little while, you're gonna start smelling that garlic as it starts to cook, right? Now once that happens, go ahead and add your chicken stock. And once you get the chicken stock in there, just give it a quick mix, because we're gonna crank our heat up right here, because we wanna bring this up to a boil. But while it's heating up, we're gonna start adding our seasonings. All right, we're gonna add our thyme. Then we're going to throw in our Creole seasoning. We're going to add our bay leaf, and then we're just going to give it a quick mix, and then add that smoked ham hock. All right, after we add the ham hock, we're just going to go ahead and give it a quick mix, bring this up to a simmer, and we'll cover it and let it sit for about 1.5 hours. Every 15 minutes or so, just go ahead and check on it, give it a quick stir, make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom. And about 45 minutes in, what I did was I took a potato smasher, the same ones you use to make mashed potatoes, and I kind of smashed up some of the beans, and that will cut down on your cooking time and help thicken this up. Now we're going to go ahead and cover this up, let it sit for another 45 minutes. And in the meantime, we got some long grain jasmine rice, about 2 cups on the side cooking. We're gonna start getting our sausage ready. I like to saute the sausage, get some color on it. It just adds a little flavor. It keeps the texture of the sausage, because if you put it in the red beans and rice at the beginning, it just gets soft and kind of mushy, and you don't want that. All right, this is the kind of color we're looking for. We're gonna let this go for about another 10 minutes or so, and then we'll go from there. All right, now that our sausage is done, let's check on the beans. And as you can tell, it's starting to thicken up. This is what we want. We're gonna go ahead and give this a nice mix around, make sure nothing's sticking at the bottom. Then we're gonna add our sausage. And once we do that, we're gonna cover it back up. We're gonna let it cook for about another 30 minutes. All right, it's been about a half an hour, and this is looking delicious, man. This is thickened up really nice. This is about what we want right here. So now what we're gonna do is add our parsley. Once we get the parsley in there, give it a good mix. Make sure that parsley gets well incorporated in there. And then what we're gonna do is give it a taste. And then to me, it needs a little bit more seasoning. So we're gonna add the rest of that West Coast Cajun Creole seasoning. And then we're gonna mix it up, and now we're gonna plate it up, all right? This is what it's gonna look like plated. All right, a little bit of rice in the bowl, then put your beans over that. Now let's give this a taste. Man, look, this right here is fire. I love this dish. This is delicious, man. If you follow these directions, you can have some delicious red beans and rice in about 2 hours, all right? 2.5 hours prep and everything, you're good to go. Look. If you enjoyed this video and you haven't already and you want to subscribe, click here. If you want to check out some other videos on this channel, go ahead and check out this playlist, or maybe this video is more to your liking. Either way, click on one of those and I'll see you there.